like to see how this developer money is being used to buy commissioner seats in Walton County? Well, here it is. Check your mailbox. You probably received one of these. It's an atrocious hit piece on Mike Barker. It's a total BS story. No one believes it. Everyone is furious about it. And most importantly, it's completely backfired on the group that sent it out. Now, Mike's opponent, Teddy Stewart, denies having anything to do with it. And truthfully, he probably didn't, which is what's even scarier and proves that there is a big, powerful machine behind candidates like Tony, Teddy, and Lisa that's far worse than we ever imagined. In this video, I'm going to show you the paper and money trail that exposes the whole corrupt enterprise of developer-backed special interest groups that have been controlling Walton County politics for decades and has been the leading cause for all the problems we face as a county. Now, Teddy Stewart may not have planned this hit piece, but Teddy has got much bigger problems now, because whether he orchestrated it or not, him as well as Tony Anderson and Lisa Johnson have all been funded by these same people that funded this hit piece on Mike Barker. And I'm going to show you in this video. The fact that it even went out proves that these candidates are nothing but puppets. But this hit piece is just the tip of the iceberg. Let me show you the money trail it leads back to. So for starters, look at the postmark. Look who it's from. Voters Response. Voters Response is a political action committee based out of Tallahassee, run by this creepy guy named Bill Heimlich. This is a picture of him here. You've probably seen this little weasel snooping around the visioning pages. And what do you know? Here's a picture of him with our buddy Mike Huckabee. I know everybody just loves him. Now, Bill is the treasurer of the Leon County Republican Party. Think about that for a second. He's the treasurer, meaning he's the guy that handles the money. They operate under many other names, including the Committee for Justice, Citizens for Principled Leadership, Focused on Florida, Voters for Economic Growth, etc. Now, what they do is they transfer money back and forth through these different groups to fund sleazy black operations like this through Voters Response. Now, one of the groups has a direct connection to Walton County, Voters for Economic Growth. Catchy name, right? Now, wait until you see who some of the donors are. Seascape, $10,000. Great Oaks Development, $5,000. Belmac Roofing, $5,000. Thomas Becknow, $4,000. Matthews and Jones, LLP, $4,000. And the list goes on. So let me sum this up for you real quick. This is big-time developers and attorneys spending big-time money to fund sleazy operations like Voters Response, who send out smear campaigns about a candidate who is leading in the polls. And it just so happens that this said candidate, Mike Barker, is openly against developer-backed special interest and is truly a man of the people. Now, ironically, the same groups that have been funding Voters Response have also been funding these campaigns. You really think that's a coincidence? Now, the three developer-backed candidates, or the puppets, as many refer to them as, have already raised a lot of money in this campaign. This is where it gets scary. This hit piece alone probably set them back about $15,000 to $20,000. It went out to all Walton County voters. We all know the biggest problem in Walton County is the commissioners being funded by these big developers to get elected. If you follow the money, you'll see that these are the same types of groups funding all three developer-backed candidates. Have you noticed how all these campaigns are very similar? They all have signs put out by the same people. None of the candidates respond to any of the legitimate client surveys or participate in the forums. That's because that's exactly what they are instructed to do by the people they are funded by. When you take this kind of money, you are not in control of your campaign. And if elected, you won't be in control of how you vote either. These special interests don't want a candidate that represents the people. This is the clear picture that shows the real and blatant attempt to buy a majority of the Board of County Commissioners during this election. Now the question is, why are they going after Mike Barker? I'll tell you why. Because they are afraid. They are afraid of Mike because they are afraid of you, the citizens of Walton County, us. They want to destroy Mike because they want to destroy you. They know you are fed up with this stuff. They know if we, the people, get a majority vote on the county commission, and we will, and we elect good, solid candidates who actually represent us. Their days are numbered, and their days are numbered. You have the chance to put an end to this right now. This is an unbelievably exciting time in our county's history. For the first time in decades, we have a clear opportunity to crush this whole corrupt system forever. Despite all this money being raised, these candidates are not doing good in the polls. They don't have support from even their own friends and neighbors, and you can already see the dominoes starting to fall. We have 3 phenomenal candidates who are winning by large margins in the polls. All 3 of these candidates are very high caliber candidates. They all have great experience and are great leaders, and mostly they have not taken any money from developers, engineers, or attorneys, and they are openly against that. For the first time in decades, the Walton County citizens can take back our county from these corrupt special interests that have plagued us for decades. But you have to go vote on or before August 18th. It's time for the citizens of Walton County to take control of our future. If you want change, it's important to not support candidates who are backed by developers and special interests. But what's more important is that you go exercise your most sacred American heritage, your right to vote on August 18th.